Yeah, I'm just going to be going over the process, just doing a quick little introduction, and then we can go from there. So, my name is Patrick. If you don't know me, I run a company called GPT Pat, stands for Generative Pre-trained Personalized Automation Tools. And what we do is we build different AI systems and automations for individuals and companies of all sizes, focusing on solopreneurs, small businesses, but also doing enterprise projects as well. Everything from custom GPTs to automations, web apps, etc. So I've been building these tools since about end of 2023 and built over 160 GPTs on the custom GPT store. So I just wanted to share some of that insight and take it from there. So first things first, when you're building out a custom GPT, you have to have what's called a GPT Plus plan. And the uh, the GPT Plus plan, let me see. Let me know if you can see my screen, by the way. Can you see my screen? Um,
I can see it.
okay, perfect. So the GPT Plus plan is about 20 bucks a month, but it's super important for you to have if you want to build a custom GPT. And it's actually it's very interesting because it allows you to go on on this tab here called the Explore GPTs. You can find a bunch of GPTs in the marketplace. You could build your own GPTs. To find your plan, you can just go here and go personal and get a plus plan. Pro plan gives you a lot more tooling, but plus is good for now for the GPT builder. And it's definitely worth it. You could also do things like have projects and organize your work into different projects so that everything's a bit organized. So that's the custom GPT plus plan or GPT plus plan. And in order to create a GPT, you just go to the top right corner and you go to My GPTs. And then you click Create GPT, and you'll have a bunch of them that you created down here. And then you'll be able to go from there. So it's pretty simple. The layout is also very simple. All it requires is you to just prompt anything here. So I want to build a GPT for my business. It's a log mowing company, and I want it to share information about my not products, so services and pricing. So you can start with something like that, and it'll walk you through it. Um, but you can also go to this configure part here, and that's what we're going to be focusing on for this session. It's configuring, because when you configure it yourself, you don't just go through this process, you actually um, build it yourself. So when I do it this way, it'll actually start building out the instructions here and everything for me. But as you can see, it's pretty, not basic, it is actually it's pretty intensive. But you could do a lot more with following a few simple methods. And one of the methods I'm going to be talking about is the chain prompting method. So we're going to get out of here right now and just kind of start this process over with the other GPT format. Just so you can see the screen when you have the configuration part is empty. And then you just have to name your GPT. You have the description. You have the instructions. This is the most important part, but this is what your GPT is going to do. And then you have the conversation starters so that people can know like what to click on and how it operates first if they don't know what they're doing when they come to you. You also have your knowledge section where you can upload files the um, so that the GPT files are um, perfect. So you have the um, you can have more information for the GPT files. And then you have the capabilities, which is what the GPT can do. So it can search the web, it can have Canvas, which is just simply like a kind of like a workspace. You can have image generation, code interpreter, etc. And then what you have down here is called actions. Now we're not going to work on actions today, but essentially actions are just tools that you can call outside of ChatGPT. So for example, if you want to send all the users an email, right? um, or have some sort of like form inside where the person can fill out the information and send an email to the form. You can create an action to do so. Or if you want to have them schedule a meeting, you can create an action so that they schedule it to your calendar. These are also very important tools, but they require a little bit more work because instead of just doing this, you also have to create what's called an action schema. I do have a GPT that helps you build those, but on top of building the action schema, you're gonna have to deploy that action function in the back end, which essentially just means that you're gonna have to have another piece of code, very simple, but that connects with this GPT, and you're gonna have to deploy it. And so, because it takes a little bit more of an extra step, I'll save that for another project, or I could just include in the aftermath email of this instructions on how to do so. So with that being said, I'm gonna go and discuss what uh, we call, or a lot of people call, the chain prompting method. If you have any questions, just feel free to enter in the chat. I'll go ahead and answer it. But the chain prompting method is essentially using multiple GPTs or multiple tools to go ahead and um, build other tools. So for example, this is a custom GPT called System Instruction Architect. What it does is it builds custom system instructions for your tool. And if you wanted to use, like I mentioned before, this create function, we saw how this create function will help you build those instructions. But if you want to elevate your prompt engineering so that you have more very specific instructions, you would use a tool called System Instructions Architect, or maybe just asking Claude or another just regular ChatGPT to make the system instructions for you. But the benefit of this tool is that it's specifically designed and engineered to give you the best GPTs, system instructions possible. So if you can read these system instructions in here, it says you're the #1 system instruction architect in the world, setting the gold standard for precision in system instruction design. You create flawless implementation ready system instructions for custom GPTs and assistants. And it has a lot of other steps that it takes to ensure that whatever you write is valuable, execution ready, scalable, actionable, etc. So we're going to start with this, and then we're going to use this to build a GPT. And then afterwards, we're going to test the GPT and see how it runs. We may test it without it just to see how it works with it without it. But for this, we're just going to go with this model right now. So I'd love to hear if there are any ideas for a custom GPT. Um, so what we're gonna do with this is let's um, build a GPT for a hmm, let's build a GPT for um, a custom actions builder. How about that? There's already a custom actions builder, but what we'll do is we'll build another one in real time so that it can help you create custom actions for your GPT. So what I'll do here is I'll say, write system instructions for a custom GPT that will write action schemas for a custom GPT using the Open AI Chat GPT custom GPT builder. And so the purpose of writing this is just to get a clear understanding of what we're going to be building. And even if you don't have an exact framework for what you want to type into here, a GPT like this will help you with just any sort of basic prompt, and it's going to help you develop it even further. So you can see here with this GPT instruction architect tool, It's not just building you instructions, it's giving you a lot more than that. It's saying, you are an expert, system expert schema architect. Your role is to generate accurate, complete, strict mode, capable, compatible, sorry, action schemas in JSON format based on natural language task descriptions. These schemas are used in OpenAI custom GPTs to define function calling behavior and enable structured outputs. So this is essentially going to help you with the action scheme part of the custom GPT builder. So all we're going to do here is we're going to copy and paste this. And then we are going to paste it into this GPT instructions. And then just for greater effect, I'm actually going to post it in here as well. So pasted that in there. And it's giving us a image that looks good for now. Then we can go back into the configuration. And just like that, it's pretty simple. You are an schema architect. I'm going to recopy and paste it in here just to make sure it has what I put in there. And just like that, you've built a custom GPT. So now what you can do is you can click on only me. So that's the way only you can see it. If you want to have any personal ones, you can go to anyone with the link. So if you want to share it internally or with anybody you know, or you could put it in the GPT store so that anybody who can search for it can find it. So we're going to put in the GPT store. We're going to click save. Great. So now we have our custom GPT. It's available in the custom GPT store, and it has descriptions, title, and a profile ready for you. Simple as that. And the reason we're building this and the reason we're starting with this is because even though it may seem simple and may only take a few minutes, there are quite a few people who still don't know that this is possible. And once you just know that it's possible, then you can go ahead and build as many custom GPTs as you want for yourself, for your business, for whatever purpose. But let's go ahead and give this a try. Let's say we want to build, let's go meta and build an action schema for an action schema builder. I'm just going to post this in here and I'm going to say, create an action schema for a custom GPT that does this. I'm going to paste in the system instructions and I'm going to see what it comes up with. And you could do this for whatever GPT that you have. And it looks like it already gave us something. So this is what a action schema looks like. It's a bit of code in what's called JSON, where it basically lists all the aspects of what you need in a specific format. And what we're going to do is we can go into here. And since I built this for itself, we're just going to go into edit GPT. And then we're going to go to create new action. Paste it right in there. So now we found out that there's an issue here. Could not find valid URL in servers. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go take this, copy and paste it, and we're gonna say, make sure it fixes all errors, including, and this is where GPT creation really kind of gets into the nitty-gritty. You can create your custom GPT, and when it comes to action schemas, you saw that it created action schema, but when I put it in, it wasn't quite there. So what you can do is you can edit it to make sure that it does everything it needs to do. And that's where you go ahead and build one thing and then create more and more iterations of that thing. So now we've updated it to make sure that it fixes those errors. I'm gonna come back here and copy paste this because I'm gonna want to reuse it. Uh-huh. So now it already fixed the errors. So what I'm gonna do after I make that is I'm gonna go to the top right and click update. And I'm gonna have to delete this so that it works. And I'm gonna click update. And now it really updated the GPT. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try it one more time and see what it gives us. I'm gonna enter the same prompt. I'm going to say create a schema, an action schema that does this. Now let's see if it comes up with something a bit different here. So it looks like there is an issue there as well. We're gonna update this, and we're gonna say, make sure it takes in all prompts regardless of format and provides a custom action schema without errors each time. What else should I include? And we'll write, yeah, I think we'll focus on that. And this is good that we're having this type of um, errors with this because it shows you that you could keep going and iterating upon what you built. And also, like I mentioned, the action schemas are the hardest part of GPTs. Uh, if we build any other GPT, it might have a different kind of format. So create an action schema for the following GPT. All right. So let's see if this was any better. If not, we'll go back and see what we have to edit. I'm also going to add to create instructions for the user to how to set it up. All right. So it's telling me it's ready, but we won't know until it works. So I just said create an action schema for a custom GPT using GPT Builder. Here's the system instructions. We're going to go one more time. Oh man. So what we've seen here is that this GPT um, needs consistent updating. We also noticed that there's a very big difference between what happens when you use the create function and when you just put in the uh, GPT instructions that you have written. So let's try the umpteenth time. Create custom action schema for a GPT using custom GPT builder. Here are the system instructions of that GPT. So once again, we'll see if this one works. This does look a bit different, so there is hope there. Let me plug it in here. See, it's still not working. So that's why I mentioned that when you create custom GPTs and you create action schemas, they're so tricky that you have to know exactly how to format it. We have about 10 minutes left. After this, whether it works or not, we're going to try again with one more simple GPT without using action schemas that can replicate what this GPT should be actually, what a GPT can actually do without having all the unnecessary extras. So, okay, great. That looks good. And I'm also going to put in my instructions as well. So last time, the last chance. Last chance for last times. All righty, here we go, buddy. Generate a custom GPT for, oops, generate an action schema for a custom GPT using GPT Builder. Here are the system instructions. So it's giving us instructions. It's doing all this. It's giving us a URL. Oh, maybe that's what it was. It was missing the URL part. All right, now let's see if this worked. We're gonna edit this GPT. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna paste this in. See now, it fixed that part, but we have another issue. Info field required. Make sure to also fix errors like info field required. Make sure all formatting is correct. Now, while that's doing that, another way to kind of ensure you have the right structure is to use this tool called Knowledge Base Builder. So what this is going to do is create a knowledge base for that GPT to understand what to do. Hopefully it's going to pull information from ChatGPT's website itself on the correct structure. Create a knowledge base for the following system instructions. This actually was step number 2. Got a little ahead of myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if the update worked. In the meantime, so whatever this is, a lot different. Sometimes you got to tell it to just do what you say when it's being smart and asking too many questions. So, see the info field is still required. From a high level, it's doing its job, but what it's not doing is the correct job for something that's highly technical. And that's where, again, like we mentioned, the editing, the GPT part comes in, and it becomes such a useful part of what you're doing. Oh my goodness. Search, fix these errors. So I needed a version. And so this is where, okay, perfect. So I'm back in here. Let's do this. Let's create this action schema and another error. So what you could do, so we're not, so we don't have much time here, is just keep asking it to fix the errors that it has. But this is when an exact knowledge base would be required. So for this example, this is the knowledge base that I had used. Had I incorporated this in, it would give you the understanding of what the format should be, so it doesn't have to kind of skip and guess every single time. I'm just going to copy this, use this format example. See, now it's the fully corrected. I wonder why it never just gives you the fully corrected one from the beginning, because ChatGPT created this and then ChatGPT created that. For some reason, it never does exactly what you want to do the first time unless you tell it exactly what you want to do the first time. That makes sense. So again, we went from that very simple to a very elongated version. And then now it says 3.10. That's an easy fix. You just go in here. And finally, we have the action schema. So although it took a while, we're able to build it without any errors and any issues by going through, figuring out what the issues were, and building step by step. Now, I know said we weren't going to build the action schemas, but that's the reason why I typically like to just do the system instructions without actions because then it works without those errors. So we got one quick minute here. Um, privacy policy URL. Perfect. Now we got less than a minute here. So I'm just going to go to new chat and just close it out. Create system instructions for a lawn care services website. And that's how we would typically do it for a typical